Are you a mathematics teacher, most especially teaching SS1, 2, and 3, or you are a student preparing for WAEC and NECO? These symbols are not used to be marking student scripts again, and students supposed to know that these symbols are not allowed to be familiar with. The standard symbol that WAEC and NECO use to mark mathematics are these: M, A, B. If you are a teacher that want to know how to make use of this MAB, or you are a student that is preparing for WAEC, you are maybe in SS1, SS2, or 3, then you want to know how to make use of this MAB so that you'll be able to have a good grade in mathematics, both in WAEC and NECO. Then follow me and listen very well. How are you today? I believe you are all fine. Today I want to talk about the general instructions of mathematics WAEC marking. That is how we are marking mathematics in WAEC. Now I'm going to explain the instruction. We have about 14 instructions for the examiner to make use of. It is very, very important for students to make use of these too, because once you know how they are going to mark your script, if you know the penalty that is there and you know all the guidelines, then you'll be able to make use of the one you have to make use of, and you'll be able to avoid the one that you're supposed to avoid. As I promised before that I'm going to explain this thing from the beginning to the end. Let's start now. Firstly, look at the paper that I want to use. This is the instruction given to us by this 2025 WAEC Mathematics General Instruction. Look at it. Look at it. Can you see it? The West African Examination Council, WASSCE, for school candidates 2025. General Mathematics / Mathematics Core. General Instruction. General Instructions. Now let's continue with what? The first one, you can see it's about 14. We have 14 instructions that the examiner have to make use of before the words they mark your scripts. Instruction 1. Marks are subdivided into method. M. Marks. Accuracy. A. An independent accuracy mark not preceded by M mark known as B. This one is known as, this B is known as what? Independent accuracy marks not preceded by what? By this method. It's known as B. You say this one is method mark. This one is known as what? Accuracy. Some people do call this one bonus mark, but it is not bonus. It is called basic or appropriate. Basic or appropriate. The meaning of this B means use basic or appropriate method correctly. You use your basic method correctly or appropriate method correctly. But then, this was a method mark. You apply that your basic method that you use, you apply it correctly. Method mark, the method to solve it, you apply it correctly. And then A is what? Accuracy. You got the right answer that is supposed to what? To arrive to. So instruction 2, the M mark should be given for a particular stage if the method is correct. That is, if your method is correct, you will be given what? M. That is, it would, if correctly carried out without any numerical error. I've explained that without any numerical error, there must not be any error. Your method must be accurately correct before you can have what? This M. M marks are not subdivided, and unless the M marks for a stage has been awarded, no A marks can be gained from the stage. So you can see this M. If it is M1, if it is 1 mark for that method, nobody will turn this towards M half. Nobody will say, let me just subtract half from it. Nobody will say, oh, this boy, he tried, oh, he solved part of it, oh, let me subtract half mark. No, it's either M1 or M0. Even if my head is asking us to use 2 marks, it's either M2 or M0. So that's why the method is very, very what compulsory. Another thing is that once you miss your method, you can never have your accuracy. It's not possible now for someone to miss the method and the accuracy is correct. Even if your accuracy is correct, we are going to give you 0 there. It's just like someone is saying 2 times 5, 2 times 5 equals to 15. And seriously, the 15 is the correct answer. Is 2 times 5 give us 15? No! Once the method is shown here, even if your answer is correct, you will not have the what? The accuracy. Instruction 3. Deduct 2 for a machining of data. Machining of data. Let me explain that. Machining of data. For example, the question asks us to solve 2x squared plus 3x minus 5 equals to 0. But you are solving 2x squared plus 8x minus 5 equals to 0. See, you are mistreating data. The 3 and 8 you are mistreating it. Yes, as an examiner, WAEC asks us to mark this thing. We mark the one you solve, you use. We're going to mark it correctly. We're going to mark it everything. We're going to mark everything. That is if you solve it correctly. We're going to mark it. But at the end, we're going to deduct 2. That was minus 2 for wasting our time or for you not to be able to see very well. Deduct 1 for an for an answer not given to the degree of accuracy as 4. Yes. Like the question is asking you to put it in 4 decimal places, but you went ahead to put it in 2 decimal places. When I asked you to put it in 3 decimal places, you went ahead to give it its whole number. It is minus 1. But this should not be more than 1 in a question. Yes. 1, a penalty in a question. A penalty in a question. Deduct 1 for premature approximation. Yes. Also premature, you have to avoid it. Premature approximation. For example, you have about 4 steps. You have about 4 steps to solve a problem. Then here you are approximating, premature, you are approximating here. Like your answer is supposed to be 2.345 times 10 is over something, but you are using 2. You are just using 2. Premature approximation is minus 1 because you will not give us final answer. It is minus 1. So it is better for you to be giving your answer in 4 decimal places. That is if you are dealing with decimal numbers. 4 decimal places, and you later come and use your final answer, your accuracy, your final answer towards the degree where the question asks you to put it. So because if you don't do that, premature is minus 1. This marks can only be deducted from what? A and B. M, nobody will deduct mark from M. If it is A, you can just say A1 minus 1. That is you. We award that mark for you. We later deduct it. For what? Premature approximation or omission of units or wrong units. Anyhow. So 3, is that 3 or 4? 4. Give 0 for results obtained for work that is indiscernible or wholly suppressed. You know how to press calculator very well. You know how to press calculator very well. You just went ahead to solve a problem without any method, without any steps. Like the question asks you to solve x minus 5x plus 6 equals to 0. Just tell us that the answer is x equals to 2 or x equals to 3. Wholly suppressed. No steps. It is 0. Even if it is 8 marks, it is 0. Nobody. 0. Wholly suppressed. WSO. Wholly suppressed. It's 0. So you have to make use of what? Of steps. Deduct 1 mark for omission of unessential workings. For those of you that do jump steps too, it's better not to jump step. It's better to write everything and let the examiner mark the one that they have to mark out of it. Because immediately you jump the omission, the essential workings, it is minus 1. It is minus 1. And note that minus 1, you may be looking at it as just minus 1. Note that 49 is not the same thing as 50. It's not the same thing as 50. Okay, instruction 5. Do not mark beyond the first appearance of the correct answer. That is, ignore further workings after a correct answer. Yes, you will have to mark because you don't know what you are doing. Or at times you even know what you are doing, but you just want to prove that you know it. Yeah, you've arrived to the answer. You later continue solving what is not supposed, or even it may be even correct, but why are you just wasting your time? Why are you just wasting your time? We're not going to waste our time. We will just mark the first appearance of the correct answer. Once we mark the first appearance of the correct answer, we ignore the rest. As what? As an examiner. 6. For geometric proof, except when otherwise stated above, deduct 1 for essential reason omitted or for a wrong reason. Yes, you know, like our circle geometry. In this class, I've explained circle geometry from the beginning to the end. If you miss it, go and check our previous videos. You will see it there. Circle geometry. There are some reasons under it. You have to know the reason. You just have to know it offhand. You have to know it offhand. You know the reason. Make sure you know the reason. Know the reason why your answer is 4. Know the reason why your answer is 2 times 5. Know the reason the answer you are divided by 2. The reason why you are scared. Know the reason. Because by the time you just state it without any reason, it is what? -1. Or you just say, oh, if I don't put reason, they will give me 0. Let me just put any reason. Any reason, if it is wrong reason, it's also what? -1. But, like I said, a penalty in one question. No 2 penalty in 1 question. Instruction 7. Deduct 1 mark for omission of unit or for wrong unit. Omission of unit. Yes, if answer is 3 centimeter, if you are writing as 3 centimeter square, it is -1. Or answer is 5 kilometer per hour, but you try to write 5 without any unit, it is -1. This is wrong unit. This is what? Omission of unit. Wrong unit, omission of what? Omission of unit. It's what? It's minus. It is -1. So, instruction 8. If a question is attempted more than once, mark all and record the mark for that which has gained the lowest mark. You see now, a question you attempt twice or 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, you are just wasting the time of the examiner. The examiner that have about 200 and something skills to mark, you are wasting his time. But when WAEC is not telling us to mark everything, even if you solve 5, you solve it 5 times. Yeah, if you solve it 5 times, the first one you score 8, the second one you score 3, the third one you score 7, the fourth one you score 12, the fifth one you score 0. You score 0 5 times. You see now, see what WAEC has us to do. WAEC say, if a question is attempted more than once, mark all and record the mark for that which has gained the lowest mark. We will just neglect all this and we will record 0. The one you gain the lowest mark. Why are you wasting your time? Why are you solving the question more than once? Check your question very well. Know the one you can solve. Then solve the one you can solve first before you move the one that is giving you problem. Most of you, your problem is that, for example, you have a question. Let me just say question 5A is 8 marks. Question 5B is 4 marks. And you have another question 7A, which is 10 marks. 7B, which is what? 2 marks. You know this, but you don't know this. You don't know this, but you know this. You are not saying, I don't want to use this mark. Oh. So you're supposed to wait to go and score this rather than missing this 10. So, but you decided to say, okay, let me just solve the 2. I'll solve the 2. And it's more than the question. One is more than the question. WAEC say, if more questions are attempted than the rubric allowed, delete the mark for those extra questions which has gained the lowest mark. You see, he asks us to delete the ones. You will delete the one that you gained the lowest mark. It's because this year WAEC is very, very mandatory. Their marking guide is very, very easy. There was a time that WAEC asked us to delete the one the student gained the highest mark. So why are you wasting your time? One is 12, the one is 0, one is 5. We deleted that of 12. But this year, WAEC asked us to delete the one that is what? That you gain the lowest mark. Instruction 10. You know this can only be happening in the second section. Because in mathematics, we have 2 sections. Section A and section B. Section A is 5 marks compulsory. And section B is 5. out of what? Out of the rest, out of 7. 5 out of what? Out of 7. So the composite, you can only have that in the section B. In what? In C. In section B. So instruction 10. Candidates who fail to draw diagram for questions that require diagram must be scored 0. Question that require diagram, but you refuse to put diagram there, it is 0. It is 0. Nobody will mark it. Question like angle of elevation and depression. Question like bearing and distance. Question like bearing and distance that require diagram. If you don't put diagram and you went ahead to go and solve the problem, nobody will mark it. Everything is going to turn towards to 0. But some of you, your problem is that you collect this quickly check it, write it down. You didn't bother to look at the diagram. Once there is no diagram, it is what? It is 0. It is 0. Okay, instruction 11. Candidate who use non-mathematical symbol. Candidate who use non-mathematical symbol such as asterisk, slash, this or this must be scored 0 in such question unless required by the what? By the question. You see, some of you know computer very well. You know in computer your asterisk means multiplication. So instead of you to write asterisk, you can say, let me prove today that I know how to properly computer. Now say 2 times 3 equals to 6. It's 0. It's 0. It's not the same thing as 2 times 3, which is equals to 6. They are not the same. At the same time, this one, like 3, you are saying 3 slash 5. This thing is not the same thing as this. It's not the same thing as this. Some of you do make such mistake. This is 3 slash 5. This is not 3 divided by 5. This is not 3 divided by 5. This is 3 slash 5. It is 0. It is 0. At the same time, you want to write this to power. You want us to know that you know how to press calculator very well. That's a 3 raised to power 2. Raised to power 2. It is 0. It is 0. It is 0. Nobody will mark it. Unless WAEC or the question allow us to use it. Now we can make use of this under binary operation. Under binary operation where we have like we have A asterisk B. A asterisk B. We can have this one under set notation. Under set difference. A minus B. You can have these two under logical reasoning. It depends on how the question is. So unless the question asks you to make use of this, that is when you will not be penalized. But if the question is, if you are not allowed to, if the question is not in form of this and you use it, it will it is going to turn your marks to 0. Then I'm trying to emphasize on this. You know, most of us do write something like this, 4 slash 5 as 4 divided by 5. It is not. This and this are not the same. This is not the same thing as what? 4 over 5. So you have to work very, very big at them. 12. Unless otherwise stated, the equivalent method not specified in the marking scheme should be accepted and given appropriate mark. Yes. That's the reason why it is only the mathematician that have to mark, or someone that knows mathematics very, very well. Because at times, WAEC may not give us another ways of solving it, and they just give us one way to solve it. And the student went ahead to go and use another way. Once the method or the way that the student make use is correct, the examiner has to mark it. He has to check it very, very well and mark it. We do have some problem when we are dealing with variance. We are dealing with standard deviation. You know, we have about 2 or 3 formulas for solving that. So you use WAEC asks us to use this, and you decided not to use it, you use another way how to solve it. Once you solve it correctly, the examiner will give it to you. There will not be any penalty for that. And total mark for this is going to be what? Is 100. Total mark is what? Is 100. Like the first compulsory, it is what? 80th mark. 5 times 8 is 40. That's for section A. And for section B is 12 marks. So 5 question 2. 5 times 12, that is what? 60. And that's total what? Total of 100. Total of 100. But at times you can see like a student who score something maybe 11 and a half with 1, 11 and a half, the second one 10 and a half. It's possible. It's possible. But this subtraction of that half, we cannot have it in what? In N. You can only have it in either, you can only have it in B or A. We can subtract mark from B and A, but we can't subtract mark from what? From M, which is what? Which is the method. Okay, this is going to be the end of the general instruction. I've explained everything. Like I said, this is exactly what we use to mark this year WAEC 2025. Then by the grace of God, in our next class, I will start solving the question, the WAEC. They just concluded the WAEC question. I will start solving it one by one. Not only to solve it, I will solve it. Then I will apply the method or the way that we use to mark it. You will see where we put M, you will see where we put A, you will see where we put B. And I will tell you the reason why this one is supposed to have M, this one is supposed to have B, this one is supposed to have A. You will see it. And I will tell you the reason why we are deducting this for this, the reason why. I will explain everything. I will take my time to explain everything. And let me tell you this before I take my leave. If your teacher is if your mathematics teacher teaching lessons 1, 2, and 3, if he or she is still marking like this, it is very, very wrong. It is very, very wrong. He has to go and study how to make use of what? M, A, and B. M, A, and B. He has to go and know how to make use of it. Because that's exactly what we are going to use to mark your WAEC question. So like I said, this is what? This is basic or appropriate. You know what you want to do. This one is the method, you use it correctly. And this one is what? Accuracy. Your answer is what? Is correct. So till next time that we're going to meet, thank you, wish you best of luck.